Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jade of Jaded Reader, and today I'm doing my November wrap-up. So something I learned about myself and my reading patterns this month is that I can definitely use reading to procrastinate just about anything. If it's important, I can read instead. I found out this month during NaNoWriMo that I can read a lot. I decided to go in as a pantser for NaNoWriMo. I didn't have a plot or anything like that. I was flying by the seat of my pants, and I tripped on those pants and fell over, and I'll go into that during my fall goal list. The point being, I read a lot of books because of it. So I'm gonna go in order from my I liked it to this is one of my new favorites. For liking it, I'm going with Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. I also read Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. Siege and Storm, however, I gave a 3.5 to 3.75 stars. I found that the beginning was really awkward and kind of rushed. I almost think the beginning, the first 100 pages, should have been its own book. That was a really major flaw for me, as well as having several, I don't know what else I'd call them, but deleted scenes or like, I guess, missed jokes, where I could tell the author was trying to be funny. I could tell the moment was supposed to lighten the mood that was in the air, like the bathos of what was going on, and they were misses for me. It felt like deleted scenes, and my best example of that is the Pickle King. If you haven't read it, there's your warning. The Pickle King should have been a deleted scene. Second on my list is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I loved the first book much more than the second. I found that with Shadow and Bone, it was just a matter of like feeling a bit rushed at the beginning. I felt kind of overwhelmed by all the new words and phrases. I don't know if that's more of me though and less of the book itself. So I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was really great. The magic system is phenomenal in this series. Within the entire Grishaverse, the magic is phenomenal, but I really got to see more of the magic at play, and yeah, I really enjoyed this book. It was a solid, smooth plot all the way through, and the Darkling definitely had some shining moments, which is what I originally kind of came to this series for, was my curiosity with the Darkling, and I felt that that was fulfilled. Now, this is going to differ a bit based off of my star count. So my next book is actually a 5-star read, but it wasn't my favorite. I actually liked one of my 4-star reads more. I don't know. My mind is, we'll call it complex. But I have Monstrous Awakening Volume 1 by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda. This was excellent. This had vivid but like dark imagery. The art in it is absolutely fascinating. The world is really cool. It reminded me of one of my favorite like dungeon crawler games, Diablo. I was just in it. I didn't want to stop it. I wanted to pick it up every single time I set it down. It is a 5-star read. After that is definitely the largest book I read. And I will say, I didn't read this in November. I read it through November and also in October. Like, it took me a month and a week to finish this book, but I did it, and I am so happy with myself. This was Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. It was amazing. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars because I found that while it was an amazing, like, new classic epic one I would definitely advise everyone to read, I think overall this is just an amazing story, and I cannot wait to start the next one. However, this story on its own, just the first book, I believe was a 4 out of 5 stars. I have very high expectations for the next one. I'm expecting a 5 out of 5 star read. The only reason I gave this 4 out of 5 stars was because I needed higher stakes and more fleshed out female characters. I felt like it was a little end heavy and being like, oh yeah, girls. I have seen that one of the female characters has her own novella, so yeah, I'm really excited for that as well. I put it on my wish list. I was like, hello, didn't know this existed. And that was one of my biggest complaints about this. So I think that the story as a whole will probably be a 5-star read for me, but this book in particular was a 4. Now we're just in my 5-star reads, so it's just a matter of which ones just like made me feel wonderful, and Wise Child is next on my list. I have talked about Wise Child by Monica Furlong in several of my other videos. I believe it was in my Witchathon wrap-up and my Witchy Reads. This has been a childhood favorite from mine. It's a family favorite. It's personal just, I can go back to it anytime and enjoy it favorite. It was a 5-star. The only reason why it's not the #1 top of my list is because I've read it so many times I didn't have like that new magical wonder of finding one of my forever favorites because it already is one. The spark isn't quite as alive as it once was because we love each other and we don't need that. We're fine. The next one on my list is Descender, 10 Stars Volume 1 by Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen. I was recommended, well, recommended seems too light. I have been persistently told since the beginning of my time on BookTube by Sam at Sarcasm and Sci-Fi that I needed to give this its shot. And I am so glad I took it because Descender was amazing. I love it. I cannot wait to keep going. This felt, for me, up there with like Saga, which is one of my favorite graphic novels right now, and I'm excited for this. I think that it might be one of my new favorite sci-fi. I don't know. I'm ready. I found out through my different readings this year that my favorite way to read sci-fi is through graphic novels, through other forms of media. It's part of the reason I think I liked Illuminae so much and why I enjoy Saga, and I also have really enjoyed graphic novels of Star Wars. It just, you almost need space to be drawn out. It's too beautiful and terrifying to not be drawn out. And so Descender is absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend it if you're looking to get into a sci-fi, fantasy, or just graphic novels. This one should also be added to your list. I am now also persistently requiring it. My next book that I read was In Pieces by Sally Field. This is her memoir. She did such a beautiful job. I normally tend to give memoirs a higher rating. I'm just going to tell you my biases, I guess. We're going to open that can of worms. I normally tend to give memoirs a higher rating because I have a hard time grading someone's story and experiences. I don't know. It doesn't ever feel right to me to be like, you know what? Your life story is a 3. For Sally Field, it was more than that. This was so well written and her experiences were so impactful. It wasn't just the experiences themselves, but how she explained them and how honest and raw she was. I was riveted the entire time. It was a beautifully written book. I will say that there is a trigger warning for pedophilia and sexual assault and molestation. These things are definitely talked about, and her experiences and inner dialogue is definitely like expressed, so be wary about that if you have some of those triggers. And last but obviously not least, because I went in order from least to greatest, I have Circe by Madeline Miller. Yes! Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. Oh, you're not supposed to see my notes. So I loved this. I loved it, I loved it, I loved it. I know some people think it's too slow. I have 2 different types of books I like. I like the shoot back a vodka book where I'm just like, wow, that was exhilarating. This is great. I feel empowered. And then I like my fine, sweet red wines, and that's what Circe is. It is one of my fine, sweet red wines, just like my beautiful Strange the Dreamer. I need my red wine just as much as I need vodka. I sound like an alcoholic. I'm not. I mostly drink water and Ramen, and I've been picking up more bubble tea. The analogy still stands. This is a slow sipped book. It is wonderful. It is beautiful. The mythology behind it was spectacular. I felt really connected to Circe. There is, again, another trigger warning for sexual assault and rape in this book. That should be kept in mind. This was such a rich, wonderful book. It is definitely one of my new favorites. This felt almost like an old favorite. Feels like I have loved this book all my life and we're reuniting, but the sparks are actually flying because this is new. I hope I explained that. It kind of seemed like I was sexually attracted to the books and also drinking them, so I hope you were able to figure out what I was talking about. I guess go somewhere else because I just realized I didn't summarize any of them. Eventually maybe I will, but I hope you're enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are, and until next time, bye! Maybe 4.5. I'm feeling generous, and I'm doing like half stars now. Where did Descender go? My God, it's floppy. I haven't given a brief explanation of any of these books so far. I'm just saying how much I love them. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, because there's like different species. It's not, I don't think it's our world. Or it's so far in the future that we found other species and we chill. Oh, where's my list? Why am I putting everything on opposite sides of the room? Do I have another word besides great? Impactful, raw, honest. That's my blurb, because this is my like dark, cool fantasy, you have meat spine shelf. I have no control over my volume. I think I just like yell. Like, I wonder if my neighbors hate me. Start out like this where I'm like, hi guys, and then I just rise all the way up because I'm so excited. I'm really excited about books.